Hi, I'm Ryan, here to talk to you about the Aral Sea. So there's a challenge facing the Aral Sea right now, which is basically that it's on the border between Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan, and it's fed by the Sirdarya and Amudarya rivers, which get their water from snowmelt and precipitation. And so as we see here, here's the Aral Sea and the two rivers that feed it. And it used to be the fourth largest sea in the world, but as we've encountered various draws on these rivers, the Aral Sea is no longer getting that water input that it's used to need to fill it up. So we see it drying up right now, and could be drying up permanently. The problem is basically stemming from the Cold War. During the 60s, the Soviets started growing a lot of agriculture in the region, and so they diverted a lot of those rivers, those two main rivers we looked at earlier especially to feed their cotton and some crops, and basically that took all the water away from the Aral Sea, so there was no longer an input of water, and the desert became very fertile, but the Aral Sea itself no longer got water. So basically the Soviets were pretty successful at their irrigation, which is what that was for, and the people living in that area became independent from outside support. So that means that they started to kind of be subsistent in their own agriculture, subsistence agriculture there. But as the time went on, the lake became very, very dry. And so there was no way for them to support their life anymore because that water was no longer there. A very acute draw of water. So we're going to take a look at what these people could have done to sort of change the way that this went down. Originally, the rate of evaporation was the same rate as the two rivers feeding in. So as the rivers fed in, the same amount of water went out, so the level stayed the same. So if they didn't divert those two main feeder rivers, then the level would have still remained the same. Also, they just need to start importing stuff. You can't grow food in a desert unless you have agriculture and irrigation. So if you don't have irrigation, you don't have agriculture. And they also already had fish in the area that they could have relied on for aquaculture. So now we're going to show you a time-lapse video. It's 12 seconds and it's going to show you the Aral Sea as it drains.
For the future perfect, you need to know all this.
You actually you have no idea what to do.
So as you can see, that's quite a lot of water draining out of the Aral Sea. So let's take a look at why this happened. Obviously the Russians, the Soviets, had a lot of need for water in that region to grow their stuff, including cotton, which you can see here. So there was a lot of cotton farms using the water from rivers that flow into the Aral Sea for irrigation, causing the soil to become salty and waterlogged over a relatively short amount of time. So the Aral Sea just kind of became a marsh of sorts with a lot of salty water. So now let's talk about what the World Bank's group is doing right now to help out this area. In 2005, the World Bank funded a dam and restoration project. Basically, they wanted to restore those two feeder rivers, especially the Sirdarya, and increase the flow into the Aral Sea. And so after that point, the water level has been rising in the Aral Sea, and the salinity of the area has decreased because that's fresh water coming into that sea. And a word on our sources: it's very important to have accurate information when we're talking about our water supply because it is so precious to life on Earth. So our sources were very beneficial in providing us with information that we needed.